Hey, James, it's Anna with Clemson 24/7. Just big picture from Saturday night, the defense as a whole. I know you're kind of the leader of that unit. What would be your thoughts, just how the defense performed as a whole?
I think for 80% of the game, we played pretty lights out and played well. And there's plays and drives here and there where we just didn't execute at the level we should have and could have. But I think that was a great – I think you need to give Virginia a lot of credit also. I think they're a really good team. I think people underestimate them, to be honest with you. I think they're getting better and better every year. That team returned 18 starters. And, they're a good opponent who created a lot of problems, especially defensively for us. They're very good at, creating not mismatches, but creating, one-on-one scenarios and, just making it difficult for a defense.
Jamie, this is Larry Williams with TigerIllustrated.com. You mentioned those one-on-one matchups with them making it such a space game. What's the assessment of just overall of the space tackling from the defense on Saturday?
Yeah, I think if you look at, some of the times we got beat one-on-one, we're in position. We just got to make the play. And I think we were prepared and ready. I mean, we knew what they were trying to do. We knew what they were going to try to do. And they definitely, every time you get in the game, they either present it a different way and they have little kinks, stuff they do differently. I thought we played well. I really did. I thought we played well. I think that was a great third game for us as a defense. We have a younger secondary. Virginia, makes you think. They make you adjust, and they have a lot of pre-snap movement and motions, and they're really good at what they do. And I think that was a great third game for us to have. I think it was a great game for us to have going into the stretch of games against some great teams. And I think we can only get better, from this past Saturday.
Hey, James, it's Trevor Groves from CUTigers.com here. The quarterback of Virginia, Armstrong, was pretty good with his legs the other night. Do you think he was a pretty good warm-up for what you'll see with De'Aaron King?
Yeah, I think he's shifty and can make plays. I think Derek King's very talented also. 100%.
What stands out to you when you watch Miami's film?
They go fast. They have athletes everywhere. They got big explosive plays. They have big plays. If you watch the Louisville game, they just had some very explosive plays in the game, and it's a game changer. So I think they got guys who can take it all the way at any time, and you got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to be locked in and ready to defend everything.
Does their running back, Cameron Harris, remind you of anyone that you guys have played recently, or kind of how would you describe his style?
I think they're fast and physical. I think they run with, they got a little chip on their shoulder. They play real hard. And that's what you love to see. When you're a linebacker, you want that competitiveness. You want that. So it'll be fun. It'll be a fun matchup.
James, I know that y'all take every game seriously and prepare to a standard every week, but it's not often that y'all get to play, a top 10 matchup like this during the regular season. Does that just add a little extra juice for y'all?
I guess so. Like you said it yourself, we take every game like it's the same, but we understand what's at stake. We understand the opponent. We understand the situation and, the rankings and how this affects the season and everything. So it really is a one-game season every week. We really do feel like it's a playoff game every week with the structure of the conference and just this year. I'm very excited for this challenge, and I think the whole team is too. Just Miami's a great team, and it'll be a fun one on Saturday.
Hey, James, this is Grace Rayner with The Athletic. Coach Venables said last week that he was still kind of trying to figure out what the identity of this defense is going to be. And I wanted to ask you if this, you said this was a really good third game for you guys. Do you feel like you're getting any sort of clarity on what that identity is going to ultimately end up looking like?
I think we're still figuring it out. I think, there's a lot of potential. And last week only helped us, but I still think we're figuring that out. I still think, as we move forward, it'll become more clear. But I still think we're still figuring stuff out, figuring out combinations, figuring out what works best for us. And we're very multiple, so I think we're still figuring it out.
Jamie, this is Larry Williams again. Is it, in your mind, is it important context that, particularly with Tyler and Justin and Xavier having been out, that you have a lot of guys who are going through this sort of starting roles for the first time? Is that sort of important context in your mind as you evaluate sort of the whole body of work at this early juncture?
Yeah, and I think it's encouraging too to know, that all the room for improvement we have, and we have so much youth, and when it just comes to experience and play time, we can only get better and better and better, through more reps and more experience. And I think guys are starting to settle down a little bit. Man, it's overwhelming. Got out in the valley. We were messing around with Brian. He's talking about being nervous. I was like, man, I'm nervous in front of 20,000. You should have seen this place at 80,000. I'm nervous before every game, so it's good. It means you care. But it's encouraging, and you need to, take into account that we have a lot of young guys who haven't, had the lights on them like this before. But everyone's moving in the right direction, so I'm just excited for the rest of this year, and especially this week.
Hey, Jamie, Anna again. When you guys put up an 18-point win, you hold an opposing team to under 25 points, yet you still, I don't know how much you pay attention to it, just kind of the outside chatter of maybe people thinking that wasn't up to standard in a lot of ways, or what they're used to seeing out of Clemson defense. I mean, how do you respond to that, or what kind of goes through your mind?
Yeah, we try not to look, but I saw something that's like, yeah, we won by 18, and we're complaining like we're getting a little spoiled. I think looking at that, yes, we look in the mirror and look at things that we didn't do so well, and we can say to ourselves, we could have done better and we should have done better. Yes, we can all agree with that. Yes, I agree with the fans. It's not up to the standard and the elite level of play we want to play with. But at the same time, I think you have to give Virginia a lot of credit. I don't think a lot of people understand that is a good football team that creates a lot of problems, that has a great scheme and great coaching, and are getting better and better every year. Like, Virginia is good. They can play ball. And I don't think people recognize that enough.
Any other questions for James?